welcome to Banter and Such. I'm Brando.
And I'm Owen.
And today we are talking about cocaine!
I do cocaine. And we have a very special guest with us today. You remember him from our fantastic family-centric Thanksgiving episode, all about Fast and the Furious. We have Nick Perrin from the Tabletop Podcast.
Hey guys, what's up?
Woo!
Listen, I have to say, there's a little bit of a spoiler about what I'm going to be talking about later this episode, but anytime it seems like there's a family-centric movie, a movie that really deals with themes of family and what does that mean to be in a family, you just bring me on. And I didn't even know that Cocaine Bear was going to be all about that.
If there's one thing that Cocaine Bear is about, it's family. Yeah.
For real.
All right, let's get into some BS.
So, obviously today, we're talking about a phenomenal movie that has become kind of like a trendsetter, and it is Cocaine Bear. But before we get into all this absolute chaos, we got to give you a heads up on some Helios Network stuff.
Yes, first of all, check out our amazing merch at theheliosnetwork.com. At our website, we got our store up and running, and we got some new merch on there. The new Master and Debater stickers are coming in soon, and the hats are right behind them.
Yep.
And,
And I'll Be Careful, You'll Be Dead stickers.
I'll Be Careful, You'll Be Dead stickers. That's what I forgot. We're getting those too. We're getting a lot of new stickers. And we also have the Banter and Such pins and Wasted Truth stickers and Wasted Truth shirts. And I'm gonna tweet out the design for the hats because it's legitimately
the
cool.
hats are really dope.
Like it's not just a regular hat with like a logo slapped on it. Like they actually designed these hats.
Yes.
Like it looks really cool.
And as well, if you'd like to support the show, check out our Patreon. The link is in the show description, patreon.com/banner and such. Help support the show, the whole network, get access to bonus banter and discounts and merch, talk to us, and, maybe we'll send a picture of Nick's left ear and we'll post it on there for. Oh, wow, look at that.
I love how
Look at that.
you don't know what our actual Patreon perks are. I think you make them up every time you say that.
Well, maybe check it out and you'll find out what's real and what's not.
Okay, now we're ready to get into the insanity that is Cocaine Bear.
Yeah, Nick, so show us your lines. What why are you on today's episode?
Listen, I just got to say, this movie is absolutely incredible. I mean, like, I went in knowing that this is going to be a fun-filled romp. Did I know that it was going to be both a cult movie and a horror movie? Yes. Did I know that it was also going to be a coming-of-age film? No. Did I also know that it was going to be a redemption film about the trials and tribulations of drug trafficking? Not really. I probably could have guessed, but like all of these things are packed into one huge bear-shaped package.
And FBI, if you're listening to this episode, which you know you are, we know you're huge fans of banter and such, everything we say is satirical and not true about anything that we might talk about in our personal lives.
No. And what's funny is we live near where this happened. And I've been in I've been in the Smoky Mountains a lot. And I've never come across any cocaine ever. So I promise.
Is it the Smoky Mountains?
Yeah, Smoky Mountain.
No, it was
But
Blood
Elizabeth
Mountain.
Banks said that there should still be cocaine up in them hills.
I know. No, well, Blood Mountain. It's the Smoky Mountains is a range of mountains. That's like the Appalachian Mountains is also called
Appalachia.
Yeah, you can say it
Can
that way if you
But
want.
can we also just like mention that the words like based on a true story or based on real events, that is doing some heavy lifting.
No, there's some truth behind this.
I looked this up because I want to get into what the truth was. And okay, so the part that about this movie that is true is that there was a drug smuggler who thought he was getting followed by the FBI.
In a plane.
And a plane, and started dumping, they said probably over $100 million worth of cocaine and just jettisoning it
over
out.
The Smoky Mountains.
Over the Smoky Mountains in Georgia. And then strapped a bunch to himself, jumped out, but his parachute never opened, and he died.
Yeah.
3 months later, they found a black bear who OD'd on cocaine.
Yes. Did an autopsy on him and everything.
And apparently the bear ate a bunch of cocaine,
Like-
and literally it was like a sludge in his stomach. His entire stomach
It was like 30 pounds
was
of cocaine. or
filled of
something.
cocaine.
The happiest bear death ever.
Like they thought they were gonna come across some like salmon or some like berries or something. They're like, oh my god,
Yeah.
that's a big packet of cocaine right there.
And 100%
I
they
haven't
knew
seen
that.
that since college, says the bear.
The bear wakes up.
It was
and
it was
starts like,
Smokey's it was Smokey's cousin, Snowy.
Snowy, Cokie the bear.
Yeah.
Did you
It's
know
Pablo
that they still
Escobear.
have this bear? They've like taxidermied the bear, and it's in one of these like ranger stations in, I
Absolutely.
guess, Georgia or wherever.
Isn't
this
it?
is.
It's really called Pablo Escobear too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
think-
the plaque says Pablo
I think
Escobear.
they really named him that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, did he actually attack anyone for real?
No. So that's legitimately that is where the story ends.
Well, that news broadcast at the beginning of the movie,
Yeah.
I think that was the actual news broadcast, like
Yes.
from like where it happened near Knoxville and stuff. Like,
Oh man.
I just love how someone in Hollywood read this online or something, or was on like saw it on a Reddit post or something. It was like, that's a fucking movie right there, and it happened. It happened.
It happened. So it is directed by Elizabeth Banks, which is a
Yes.
famous actress that's been in
Movies.
fucking pretty much everything. I'm pulling up a Hunger Games, Lego Movie,
Yeah, she's been in tons of stuff.
fucking Brightburn. Yeah, I mean she's just been in everything. So Pitch Perfect 3, she was in all Pitch Perfect.
She was the mom from Brightburn.
Yeah,
She also
that's
like
right.
executive produced Pitch Perfect, I think.
Oh really? Shit.
Was
May have
this? I
directed
think.
it, something like that.
Was this her?
She like has
okay.
her hand in a lot of pies.
Okay, I didn't know if this was her first movie directing.
Let's see here. She has directed Cocaine Bear, Charlie's Angels, Pitch Perfect 2.
Okay.
She was the director for a segment in movie 43,
Okay.
and that's it.
Yeah.
There's
okay.
two other things that were like digital shorts that I don't want to say the names of.
She's done a couple of real movies.
Yeah.
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 So have you guys heard the interviews with her? Like the
No.
real life? Yeah. Like she's been interviewed by like Variety and stuff like that. And she's like, yeah, I'm really concerned that this movie will end my career, but I don't she's like, I don't care because it's so cool.
I will say, like,
It's like, yes.
I had zero expectations going into this movie, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm gonna say it. I absolutely fucking loved every single second of this movie. I thought it was a
Yeah.
great movie. It was entertaining. Now, is it Citizen Kane?
It's not
or
it's not good.
or Road
Yeah.
to
But
Perdition?
it's so fun though.
No, it's not any of those things. But it's a movie called Cocaine Bear. And what did I want to see? I
Yes.
wanted to see a bear fueled by cocaine go on a murderous rampage. And you know what I got? A bear fueled by cocaine going on a murderous rampage.
And I only had one expectation going into this movie theater, and when I sat down, it was immediately, I was like, yes, I was right. And that was that I would smell crazy amounts of weed being smoked in the audience. It was like, I sat down, it wafted across, I was like, I'm in the right place. I know exactly what this is going to be. But yeah, no, I agree. I think that my only critique on it is that it tries to do it like literally tries to do a lot of things.
Yes.
And it could have just been a cocaine fueled rampage that was, this bear as murder weapon kind of thing. But instead it really does try to like tug on your heartstrings a little bit. It's like a funny movie, so it's also like a comedy. It's like legitimately scary in some parts, and so it's like also a legitimate horror movie. But then it also has this, like I said, I was joking about the family stuff, but it is kind of like,
Yes.
I don't
It's
know,
crazy.
it has a lot of plot lines. Most of them end mid-movie because the bear kills whoever the plot was associated with. But then it continues on to, you're like, oh, I guess this is the main plot line, and oh yeah, this is touching.
Well, there's like, it's exactly like the movie is exactly what you think it is, and then it's also not at all what you thought it was going to be, because I mean the whole like the cocaine fueled like bear violence is absolutely in this movie. This movie is super gory and violent, and in
I had to
exactly
look
the
away
ways that
from
you
the
can
screen
imagine.
a couple times. I
Yeah,
was like, holy shit, this is like Final Destination kills. Like,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Like there were times where I turned to Owen, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" But then it's also like what you said, Nick. Like it's like actual stories with actual characters. That's the one thing I didn't expect from this movie, because I was thinking like, oh, this is going to be just separate vignettes of like bear murders, right? And that's just the whole movie until the end. The bear is probably killed gruesomely by the final girl or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, but it's not that. Like it's actually, this movie has real characters with character arcs, and they don't all go from start to finish of the movie, because a lot of these characters die like a third of the way or half of the way through the movie. But they actually complete, like they have these characters, like each one. Did you notice this? Like each one of the characters has something unique and interesting about it. There's no,
I wouldn't say interesting.
I thought they were, because they all have a personality. None of them are just like there.
It's just weird. Okay, I'll let me quantify why I say that. It's like there's a lot of one-off stories that have nothing to do with the plot, and I don't know why it was in it. For instance, so there's a main detective in it, and he is played by Shia Whitlock Jr.
Yeah, he's the mayor from The Wire. The Wire, yeah.
And he randomly starts talking about dogs and how he wants a dog that plays fetch. And then it looks into his car and he has a dog, and then he like calls,
what's in his office?
Yeah, in his office, and he drops it off for the other cop to watch it and calls to check on the dog. What does that have to do with anything?
He's a fully realized character.
Fancy, which is like his like long-haired, like weird looking dog.
It is the prissiest looking dog you could imagine.
It's very good.
At
or
the
end, fact that even the other cop that's in it ends up being crooked.
Oh yeah,
and there was no sign of that.
There was
anywhere.
A double cross in Cocaine Bear. Yeah. Like I didn't expect to see that.
Later, then an uncrossing and a double cross and all this stuff. It's just nuts. And like, is Eddie the one who was the really sad drug dealer?
Yeah, well, that's it. I wanted to list it off real quick so we could talk about him.
Okay.
Because you have the children in it who are skipping school and they do cocaine. So you have children doing cocaine in this movie. You have
sign that it's an A-list movie right there.
Yes, immediately, and it like.
The entire theater, when I was watching it, just started groaning when they had that like knife full of cocaine. Yes! They're just like, I guess we eat it, and then let's just put it in their mouth.
And it was like a tablespoon. It was literally like a mound that would kill a person.
And the movie lingers on it.
I guess these children die via drug use right now.
And they spit it up because it's so gross.
And it's 1985, so you know that shit is pure.
So
it's uncut.
So they have that. You also have the drug dealer mourning a recent death.
Of his wife or something.
He's like crying
John.
in the car with his other drug dealer, and the other guy was like super
honestly,
uncomfortable.
Eddie and David, A-list acting from both of them. Like I was like, man. These two are really good actors.
That was real. Like that's what's crazy. You had, let's see what else you had.
Ray Liotta.
You had Ray Liotta being Ray Liotta.
Rest in peace.
In his last performance ever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
This is his last movie is Cocaine Bear. I was talking with Brando about this to bring up Ray. Like Ray Liotta is now in the same mythos as Raul Julia. Now hear me out. You might be like, where is he going with this?
And Sean Connery too. I realized.
And Sean Connery.
Yeah.
As where these actors that have had such expansive, great movie careers, their last movie ever sucked.
Are in like horrible movies at the end.
So you got Ray Liotta for Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
You got Raul Julia as M. Bison in the Street Fighter Van Damme movie.
Yeah.
And you got Sean Connery, was it League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which is terrible. That was his final movie, man. Oh my God. Man. So you had him, you had the park ranger.
She's so good, and she's like a actual like prestige actor, Margot.
Yeah, Margot Martindale.
Martindale, Margot Martindale.
Oh yeah, because she was
like
in Dexter.
Actually really great actress, like in all of the movies she's in. Fantastic, and she did a really great job.
And this one, she's great too. Yeah. She's crazy in this movie. Like
Bear bit a chunk out of my ass.
She's trying to get laid because she's got the hots for the wildlife guy, wildlife inspector, and then she just goes like she's got an actual character where like she had ambition to be a park ranger at Yellowstone, but she was too much of a loose cannon, so she ended up in the Smoky Mountains. And when she pulled out the gun to try to shoot the bear, she shot everything and everyone except for the bear.
Yeah. Man, I gotta say, like, oh God, some of these kills, like her death. Oh my God, I could not watch.
That was the one.
Though I will say her, like, the whole ambulance scene was just
Yes.
really, really good.
Oh, yes.
So there's a lead up, right? So the bear starts attacking people. There's some other stuff that happens. Anyways, there's these like hooligan kids that call an ambulance because they got beat up by one of the drug dealers. So then all of a sudden the ambulance shows up mid bear attack.
Yeah,
and
who
they
are like,
start to
there's a
run away.
concussion in this ranger station. We have to go. It's like an easy thing. And they open it up, and there's just blood everywhere. They literally are pushing the door open through a dead body on the ground. They're like, "Why can't we open this door?"
They were not prepared.
One of the best parts, though, was the guy looking at him being like, "They just said it was a concussion," and the guy had the gunshot wound in his head.
So like they like are so they're like, oh shit, it's a bear attack. They get in the ambulance and then drive away. And there is a chase sequence where the black bear,
The coked out bear.
chases them like 2 miles down away.
They can't get away from him.
Jumps into the ambulance and just mauls everyone inside. It's like crazy.
Oh my god!
It was exactly what it was supposed to be.
It
like,
was great.
Well, those were the only two like one-off characters. Like that scene was the one that you thought it would be, right? Where just people show up and they get mauled by the bear. But like all the rest of them with the kids that are skipping school to go hiking, you have the mom who's trying to find them, the drug dealer trying to recover the drugs. Like these are actual real stories that are going. I'm watching this. I'm like, what the hell is this? Like I actually care about these people. I don't want them to. Even the very beginning. Remember the opening scene?
Oh God, with Torbjorn or whatever his name is from Game of Thrones?
The two like Swedish people, like the Swedish couple.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, we're come to America and we're so good with all of the stuff we have, you know." And and like you just they see the bear and it mauls the woman, and the dude is like, for the rest of the movie, like he actually shows up later in the movie where he's genuinely torn up over it. But it's
he's
just
like
so funny.
sitting in the woods on his like sleeping bag, and he's like, "She's dead. She was so beautiful."
Oh my god!
Wild.
Oh, we got a timer coming up here. We might have to like.
Yeah, we're doing this via Zoom, so apparently the Zoom is not the premium that Brando told us it was.
Whoops.
It's all good.
But yeah, I mean, it's just like so much in this. Like it's dark humor because the violence is like really real violence.
Oh yeah.
And you kind of have to, I mean, you kind of laugh along because the violence is so over the top that it gets into the area of absurd. But the movie plays it like the tone of the movie, which I wasn't expecting. It's like, it's not like a Will Ferrell movie. It's not like Anchorman or something where like the tone of the movie is really
Which
silly.
he also fights a bear in that one, so good pull. He fights a bear in that one.
Extended universe. Actually, there was a joke where my friend turns to me and is like, "You know, I'm just so glad that this bear is getting work after the Revenant."
Excuse me, that was a grizzly bear. This is a black bear. Okay,
Listen.
are you a bearist? Can you not tell them apart?
No, listen, that bear is transformative when they're in a movie. They really can portray any kind of bear.
It's the RDJ of bears.
Yes, exactly.
What do you mean, you people?
What do you mean, you people?
How the wildlife inspector didn't like to call them animals. He
Yeah,
thought that term was
so
offensive.
good. It's like, man,
like-
setting you up to be so okay with him being ripped out of a tree.
Oh yeah, what type of critters can get in there? Oh, chipmunks, yeah. Squirrels, yeah, for sure. Skunks, raccoons, you know, with the little bandit mess.
But he walks in and he's like, and she's all wearing the perfume and stuff, and she's happy that he's there, and he's like, "Oh man, you need to brush the beaver." She's like, "Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do." Like it was just like
You got a
throwaway
dusty beaver.
little throwaway lines like this. Like I'm like, "Oh yes, this movie didn't need that, but they had it and it was funny." Oh, it's wonderful. It's a delight.
My favorite part maybe in the movie is when the kid is up in the tree looking across at the park like ranger, animal wildlife inspector or whatever he was. He climbs up the tree and he's like, we're like in such danger, we gotta get out of here. And the kid's like, "No, you're safe now, you're in a tree, bears can't climb trees." And he just looks at him and goes, "Of course they can."
And it's like it cuts to so the bear then starts climbing up the tree to eat the little kid.
Yeah.
He gets to the same height as the wildlife inspector
yeah.
guy. Peter's his name.
Yeah.
And then he turns, looks at Peter, and smells cocaine on him. So gets down and then legitimately in like 3 swipes gets up the tree.
Yeah.
And then eats his leg off.
Eats him off. Well, then like does a line off of his leg too, because he's covered in cocaine. And
He
bear
does
goes,
do the line off the leg.
does the
Oh my
line.
God.
It's just like, yep, there we go. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. I think my favorite scene was when the detective was on the roof of the gazebo and they had that like standoff with the drug
they had the
dealers.
standoff. Oh,
And he
so
shot the one guy in the hand and it blew off to his fingers. And then the team that was with him, he's like, how did he shoot those fingers? They're not even next to each other.
Yeah, he shot off with his middle and his pinky.
Yeah.
So here's my
He's like,
theory.
how did he do that?
Here's my theory. Because this movie's so deep and complex,
Yes,
I
it
think
absolutely
it's
is.
telling us that the detective was the man on the grassy knoll.
That's what it is.
He shot JFK.
I think the fingers represent the existential angst in us all, and our search for meaning in a meaningless universe. That's what
after JFK died, the innocence that was lost from America.
Yeah, there we go.
If we were all only so lucky to lose those 2 fingers, we can come to true realization of who we are on the inside.
There's so many layers to this movie, guys. That's what I'm telling you. It's like an onion. You just keep
If
peeling
you play
back.
it, I actually was told, I haven't checked this out yet, but if you play it backwards, it lines up perfectly with the JFK shooting.
I was listening to Pink Floyd in my earbuds while I was watching this movie, and it lines up with their album, Dark Side of the Moon. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah. Do you know the entire movie in the background in every scene, there is a scene from Wizard of Oz?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And you don't realize this, but its bear cubs are actually Oompa Loompas from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Like,
Also, I do love the scene when they're walking to the gazebo. First of all, like you said, Brando, every single scene has a throwaway line that is just gold.
Yeah.
Like when the guy's like, the gazebo, and he's like, yeah, it's sort of like a pavilion without walls outside. And he's like, I know what a gazebo is. And then his friend goes, I didn't know what a gazebo is.
Yeah. Fucking Han Solo doesn't know what a gazebo is.
that's who
so
he
good.
is. Is
That's
that
Han,
him?
Yeah, that's Han Solo.
That's Han. Okay, I was the whole movie. I'm like, that guy looks so familiar. Who is that
Yeah.
drug dealer guy? It was Han Solo.
Yeah.
Oh
We
man.
had 2 Star Wars actors.
Just
in
to
this
clarify
movie.
for the audience, Han Solo from Solo, not Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
It was Harrison Ford in a wig, like in a mullet wig.
Man, they could do anything.
Where's
with
my
CGI.
cocaine?
Oh God.
Where's my family? He's just chill out.
But I
Harrison.
love, like, they're walking there, and then they have that moment where he's like, yeah, now that my wife's dead, I don't know how to talk to my kid. And then the like, you know, teen drug dealer guy is like,
Oh no,
yeah,
the
well,
teen
my
was just a
mom-
teen hooligan. Like he was just a
Yeah.
regular ass
Hooligan.
Oh, are you
hooligan.
gonna give me the lizard line?
Yeah, the lizard where he's like, my mom, she made me who I was. She bought me a lizard, and I didn't know how to talk to people, but I practiced talking with that lizard, and then I met my friends, and now they're like my buds. And we're gonna go to New York together.
He was like so in love with his friends, and the scene
And
right
then it's
before
just
it.
a hard cut to his friends, just like one with a gunshot blown through his head,
Just
and the other
brutally
one with his
murdered.
head completely off from the bear attack. And he's
straight
he
like,
doesn't
decapitated.
know, and he doesn't know.
Yeah.
Oh,
But then he
man.
like leans over. He goes, lizards are great listeners, but people are better hearers.
and the guy
they
just starts
hug.
sobbing and gives him a big hug.
He's like, oh my God. I needed to hear that.
when the drug dealer's in the car and that song comes on, that romantic song, was it like just the two of us or something? And he was like, man, that was her song. He's like, that's okay, I'll turn it off. He goes, don't you turn it off.
It's on the wings of love.
That's what it was.
Wings
That's
of
what-
Love.
on the wings of love.
Also, the entire through line of the 20 questions game is fucking brilliant. Where
Oh,
he's like,
man.
he's like, you have to start broad and then you narrow. And the hooligan's like, yeah, ask him if it's bigger than a bread box. He's like, is it bigger than a bread box? He's like, yeah. He's like, okay, is it Abraham Lincoln? He's like, no, why do you keep doing this?
That's not how this works. You notice how like none of this has to do with a bear high on cocaine on it. Like
Nope.
this is
Yeah.
like just genuinely funny written characters like that are in this. Like that was such a treat to me. Like I was in it for the dark humor violence, and I got all of this like just funny dialogue. I was like, what is this?
I mean, like when Carrie Russell plays the mom who's trying to go for like her 2 kids, and the park ranger and the animal inspector are like, oh, yeah, okay, so they went this way, but if we go this way, the loop, and they're just like, and she just starts walking. They're like, what? We wanted to see the sunset on the loop.
Yeah.
They don't give a flying fuck about the kids.
Yeah, her like driving desire is just to have a romantic moment with this animal inspector. It's like, fuck these kids, I don't care.
Oh man.
Oh, and you didn't answer the question. Which was your favorite scene?
Oh, it's the ambulance chase scene by far. Was
Really?
so good.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
stupid. Oh,
Okay,
God.
well,
And
let
it's
me
like
ask
that TikTok guy.
So yeah, you noticed that too.
Yeah,
The
I was like, I
paramedic
know
was that
this
guy from
motherfucker.
TikTok.
Where is
Yeah.
he from?
Huh?
Yeah, he does those TikToks where he's like,
How do you even know about TikToks,
I
Brando?
see because Reddit gets all of its content from TikTok.
I gotcha. Okay.
But he works at an IKEA and he starts off. He's like,
Scott.
"Oh, you're not going to shop here anymore? Well, then don't shop here anymore." And it has
Yeah,
that like
exactly.
serious music that starts. So you think I care? I don't own this place. Go shop somewhere else. Like he's got several videos like
Angry retail guy.
that. Yeah, it's
and
so funny.
Hugely popular. I mean, I kind of think that this is probably going to be a trend in B movies now because I think it was probably pretty successful. I looked around, I saw a fuck ton of Zoomers in this audience, and I know that
Oh,
most
yeah.
of them probably were there just to see Cocaine Bear, but I bet a couple of them were like, this TikTok guy's in it, and I want to see it.
Can
So
you
I bet
explain to
in
Brando what
B
Zoomers
movies
are,
coming
though?
up, all TikTokers.
Is that the kids these days? Is that what they're called?
Zoomers, yeah.
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 All right, we need to
Sorry,
restart
Brando,
our.
didn't mean to call you out like that.
Speaking of Zoom,
Yeah. We'll be right back. 3, 2, 1. Where did we even leave off?
oh, that was so funny, Owen. Anyway,
You know, it's funny that we didn't even bring this up. But you know one of my favorite parts about this movie?
what?
It literally starts on the Chattahoochee River.
Yes, dude, I've been to the Chattahoochee River. Like I've been like it's
Is that where you learned to swim and love?
yeah,
A lot about living
and a little about love,
and
yeah.
cocaine.
Yeah, cocaine. No, I've been shooting like you go on. They have these little inner tubes you can get on, and the Chattahoochee River is just big enough to where like you can ride on inner tubes down the river and it like make a whole day of it. And there's little towns along the river that you can stop and have dinner. They call it shooting the hooch. That's what and it's awesome. It's awesome.
All
So if
right.
anyone is anywhere near like the Chattahoochee River in northern Georgia, go out there and go tubing down the Chattahoochee River. You also might see Bigfoot. That's a big.
Are
Bigfoot
you in
area.
Georgia? Do you want to see Bigfoot? Maybe. Do you like tubes? Well, get yourself a 6-pack and float down the Chattahoochee River.
It's a very small niche amount of people. I feel like with that
all
type
of our
of
listeners in the
Start
northern
broad, Nick. Start broad, then narrow it
I'm
down.
so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'll take it back.
No, here's my question though.
Brought to you by
Bringing
the
this
North
up,
Atlanta Tourism Board.
Is Bigfoot just a cocaine bear?
Oh my God, this is such a
Oh.
good question.
An upright. That's actually what.
We saw the bear walk on its hind legs quite a lot.
That's what sparked our evolution. You've heard of this theory? This where we
Cocaine?
walked on all fours, and and it was actually cocaine.
Yeah.
And we were just like, whoa, and we were walking upright. That is,
Oh, okay.
that's where
Interesting.
civilization
Yeah.
came from.
Okay. Yeah. So we were learning, thousands and millions of years ago to harvest the coca leaf and grind it with petrol fuel to make.
Is that how they make it?
I believe there. I think.
Can we
Once
look-
again, FBI. This is not an admission of guilt. I'm pretty sure there is gasoline involved in some way, shape, or form with the
Hell
production
yeah.
of.
Oh wait, I
cocaine.
saw that movie with Denzel Washington. I saw that movie with Denzel Washington where he makes cocaine, and where he's like a drug lord, and I can't remember the name of it, but it's fantastic. But
Man on Fire.
no,
Brando, I
Train.
just want to say that may have been the most interesting fact you've said so far this episode.
it's an actual real fact too. I actually, you know what? I came prepared.
Are you talking about
trivias.
Bedazzled with Brendan Fraser, where he becomes a drug lord?
No.
Are you talking about Frasier,
Sure
the
is.
show on television?
Drug lord movie.
No, Ant-Man Quantumania.
Oh, yeah, we're
Where
never
he makes
talking about that.
cocaine out of gasoline.
Oh, American Gangster.
American Gangster.
Yeah. That's a good movie.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic.
Yeah. Brendan Fraser
Yeah.
Denzel Washington.
That's right.
Great movie.
They're all
Yeah.
in it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's the cocaine cinematic universe.
Ray Liotta. Yeah.
Ray Liotta.
It's just every single cocaine movie put together in one.
A
It's
digital
very
recreation of Ray Liotta.
I can't believe we've actually gotten this far without talking about the Cubs. Like,
my
that
God.
are just completely covered in coke in the cave and are just like playing in the coke, I guess, the little bear cubs. And then like they find the little girl in there and she's like, stay away from the bears, they're dangerous. And she's like, no, they're fine.
Did
No, it's just
anyone
that
see
big
that
bear
coming?
fucks everyone up.
Brought
the
up.
little
Oh my
ones.
God.
I mean, they were too. They were like coke raged also. They were just too small and cute to do anything.
Yeah.
It was like, of course, this is why this bear is being territorial, and of course, it's bringing cocaine back to its cubs.
To feed them. I
They-
found food. Here you go,
They
little
look
children.
like polar bears.
Yeah, which is the biggest, like, I guess, heel turn in this entire movie is that for the first half to 2 quarters or 3 quarters, I guess, the bear is undisputedly the villain, the antagonist, killing everybody. In the last half-ish of the movie, they do a hard switch where the bear is the protagonist.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're like, she's just trying to protect her cubs. No, this is totally okay. She's just doing it because of that. It's like, I, 15 minutes ago, saw this bear leap into an ambulance and just rip someone apart. This is not about the cubs.
He ate the Swedish couple.
That was the twist. It's M. Night Shyamalan movie. That was a very surprising
Oh,
twist.
yeah.
The cocaine bear was the good guy all along. It was a heroine.
But what if the cocaine is the friends we make along the way?
Where the bear falls asleep on top of the guy and he's like, it's a girl. And they're like, how you know? He's like, her vagina's on my face. Very good.
Oh man, there's so much insanity in
Yeah,
this
I
movie.
can't-
Like it really isn't. Like it's just ridiculous. But it never goes too far. Like it never.
I don't know. You see Ray Liotta's intestines get pulled out by the cubs and
I can
dragged
watch that.
away.
That's realistic though.
And he gets hung. What was the textile strength of that cocaine bag?
Chekhov would have wanted.
You realize it's just like a typical 1985 like canvas bag.
Yeah, yeah.
And he gets hung from it. What is the textile strength of that
And
bag?
they made stuff really good in the 80s, man. That was,
Like cocaine.
that was durable.
That was made in America duffel bag.
That was. Okay, so let me ask you guys this question: out of all of this, this wonderful bouquet of ridiculous characters, which one is your favorite? Who is your favorite character in this movie?
I have one that comes to mind, but you want me to go or Nick or you? I would love for you to go first if you got
I am
one already.
stuck between 2, so you go, and if you
Okay.
pick one of them, I'll grab the other.
Sweet. So 100% is my favorite character, and I actually think it's the best actor of the entire movie was Henry, the little kid, the blonde kid, Christian
Oh
Convery.
yes.
Dude, his acting, I've never seen him before. I don't even know if this person is real.
Well, he's a genuine child,
but he's a genuine child.
he's like
and
8 years old.
does this role so well every single time. Like he's like telling a lie or anything like that. But then there's this line where he like looks up at Kerry Russell and he's like, "Yeah, that's something." Like he just saw the animal inspector get mauled and eaten to death. He goes, "Man, that's
Yeah,
something
this is
I
a great
really don't
line.
wish I could remember. But I think that's something that sticks with you with your whole life."
Yeah,
what?
so
He had some
good.
great one at the end when he was like, "I just want to go home because I'm so fucking tired," because he had been hiking all day.
and on cocaine.
Yeah. Oh god. And
then-
like that scene where he's walking with the mom and he's like, "Yeah, so if someone were to like eat cocaine, like would that be bad for them hypothetically? Would they be addicted?" And she's like, "Well, if hypothetically they only did it once and only a little bit, they should be fine." He's like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Yeah.
And so he gets introduced and he's spent like 1,000 weeks of his allowance to buy this like WWF wrestling belt.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is Chekhov's gun in this movie for me,
Yeah.
right? I'm like, okay. And the entire movie, he is wearing this wrestling belt. I thought for sure there was going to be a scene where he gets attacked by the bear and the bear is trying to eat his stomach, but the belt protects him. And so you think he's like about to die.
Yeah.
But like, and nope, that never came.
No. It's just like the kid likes the wrestling belt.
Yep.
Yeah, it is the biggest misdirection of the movie.
All right, what about you, Nick? Who was your favorite character?
So I am stuck between Eddie and David. I really like
the drug
those two
dealers.
drug dealers. Especially, I like them together. They're just like a really good comedic couple. Like when he has the penne in the bar and he's like eating it, and David's like, yeah, like so I might get myself some of that. Is it just come plain, or he's like, it's just plain.
And because he's crying, he's like mourning,
he's sobbing into this pasta.
and his friend doesn't know how to deal with that.
Yeah.
He just gets weird
so
around
good.
it.
It's literally just a bowl of penne and butter, and that's it.
Yeah, and it's also like it's also like brings a lot of heartwarming moments in the movie where, you know, David gets his fingers shot off, he gets knifed, he's like really beat up through this entire movie, and there's just one moment where he's like shivering a little bit, and Eddie takes off his coat and throws it on him. He's like, thanks, man. I was just like, oh, I need that right now. I just saw a bear like mutilate 3 people, and now I'm getting this nice friendship moment, and that's really what this is about.
So David gets shot, and he's like, it looks like he's dying in Eddie's arms. He's like, I got my last guess. And Eddie's like, what? He's like, the last guess for 20 questions. I get one more. It's like, was it Joanne? He's like, yeah, it was. I knew the whole time. I just didn't want to say it to make you cry.
Yeah, he's like, I just didn't want to have to deal with all that. Just so good.
And it's like, he has a tattoo.
Did you guys stay after the movie and see the after credits like flashes?
Yes.
The ones where like the fingers. That's also a great moment. After the fingers get blown off, the detective, Eddie's like, hey, can we call a truce so I can go grab his fingers?
It's like, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so good.
All right, what
And
about
his
you,
fingers are
Brando?
being eaten by that dog, and he's like, what? Well, they weren't going to put him back on.
I think probably my favorite character was the teen in the yellow shirt.
God, he's so funny. He's so fucking funny.
The 3 teens were like typical small town teens, like hooligans, like on their skateboards, and they had like pocket knives, and they kept stealing stuff. They they just like
they
walk
mug
into
one of the drug dealers.
Yeah, and that's how they first, because they thought they were so badass, and they really were, except like actual drug dealers show up to their park, and like the one teen who survived it, like how he didn't know, like he left his friends, like even when they got beat up in the bathroom, and he was the first one they woke up to interrogate, and he looks over and he sees his friend, and goes, oh man, are my buddies dead? And they're like, no, they're fine. He's like, oh, okay. And he was so relieved that his friends were fine, and they take him to go like find the gazebo, and while they're gone, his friends are mauled horribly, and he doesn't know. And while they're out, he's reminiscing about how much he cares about his friends and how much they're bros. It's just
you start with absolute disdain for all 3 of them. You're like, these guys fucking suck. I hate them. I'm looking forward to these deaths. And then those nice moments happen. You're like, oh no, they're like, they have more to them. They're friends. And then you're like, oh shit, what the fuck just happened to them?
When the bear falls asleep on the drug dealer, and the teen is like, maybe we should just go. I think he'll be all right. And the guy's like,
maybe just like,
seriously?
like push it off.
And the second after the credit scene is like my favorite, where he's hitchhiking to New York and he has a duffel bag full of cocaine that he found still, and like this farmer truck pulls up with a bunch of goats in the back, and he throws the coke in the back and gets in, and then he gets back out and he like rips the cocaine back and like looks at all of the goats super suspiciously.
I was like, are we getting a sequel? Is it Cocaine Rams?
Cocaine sheep. Or like when they have the detective's prissy dog at the end, and he ends up with the drug dealers, and he brings him in the car, and he goes, what is this? And he goes, I don't know, it's just a dog. And he's like, is it a cocaine dog?
Is it cocaine?
He's like,
no, I think it's my dog.
But the drug dealer was cautious. He was like, is it a cocaine dog? He's like, no, it's cool. Oh, okay.
So dumb. It'd be like, bah, more cocaine, more cocaine.
You know that they're going to make another one of these fucking movies. It's probably like just box office. I went in there. I haven't been in a full theater since like Fast and the Furious or like Top Gun or something.
Oh my gosh.
That theater was fucking full. Like there
was
it
really?
not a single seat. Everybody was there.
So Owen and I went like this afternoon. And I mean, it's like, what is today? Monday that we're recording.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Monday afternoon, I didn't expect any. It wasn't a lot of people in there. So I was like, I wonder how this is going to go. So it's good to hear that there were a lot of people seeing it.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, at no point is it stellar. They're saying right now more than likely it made almost $30 million in opening weekend.
Well, what was its operating budget?
It's got to be low. It can't. because
I mean, most of it's probably on that CGI bear.
yeah,
Which wasn't even that good.
and the bear it didn't look that great, but it didn't matter. I didn't care.
Cocaine Bear cost less than $30 million to make.
Nice.
So,
nice.
yep.
Yeah, it's coming back.
I will say this too. So one, I hope people go see this in the theater. This would definitely be a fun thing. Like if you have, if you're going on a date, I think it'd be a fun date depending on, the person
Very
you're
specific
dating.
type of person, probably.
Yeah, as long as they know what they're getting into. Yeah. But I will say what I saw from this movie, what it'd be perfect for is when you have people over your house, when you're having a party or something.
Oh, fuck
This
yeah.
is the
Yep.
perfect movie to just put on in the background.
Yeah.
And because people are gonna be walking by with that red Solo cup in their hand, and something will happen on the TV screen. They'll be like, "What the fuck is this?"
And all of a sudden, the next thing you know, it's like the entire party's stopped
Yes.
talking, and now they're all just watching the movie.
This is a great party movie right here, man.
The two movies that I think are closest to Cocaine Bear is Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, that's like in the same DNA as Cocaine Bear. And then the other one is Rubber. Did you guys ever watch Rubber? When it was like when I was in high school, so I don't know, a long time ago.
is that like a
But
wheel?
it was about a
that's
killer
like-
tire that had
Yeah.
psychokinesis powers, and it would like roll around. And the whole movie, you're just following this tire on a killing spree.
It's just a tire rolling around killing people. A
Yeah.
fucking tire, Owen.
Oh my god, I need to see this.
I haven't
you
seen
got
Tucker
it.
and Dale versus Evil.
Tucker and Dale versus Evil is amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been
I
recommended.
mean, it's Alan Tudyk, which is one of the funniest men alive.
yeah,
and-
and
yeah.
they're like rednecks who that you think that they're like murderous.
No,
rednecks.
at no point do you ever think they're they're murderous.
But that's
rednecks.
the trope that they're.
Yes.
they're-
There's college frat teens
Yeah.
that go camping for the weekend who think they're murderous rampage hillbillies
Yeah.
and try to kill them, but in the process always end up killing themselves
in horrible
ways
Yeah.
that makes it look like
And so
Tucker and Dale are murderous hillbillies.
And so the two hillbillies are like, "What the fuck, man?"
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
my
great.
favorite. I mean, we're skipping to a different movie, but my favorite part of that movie is when Tucker and Dale look at each other, and Tucker's like, "I think that these kids are in a suicide cult."
But there's a reason why, because it is very much, it's dark comedy,
Yeah.
it's gore, it's horror, it's over the top, but it's meant to be fun.
Well, that's
Yeah.
the thing with it. Like, this is like if people are looking like if you like the gore parts of it, if you like kind of because the tone, and I think I was saying this earlier, the tone of the movie, the way it's presented, is it's not like Anchorman where it's the tone is silly. This is like the tone is serious. It's a serious horror movie. It's just there's funny things happening in it, but the tone that it's presented in is like a scary movie. And if you like that, and that's that dark humor. Like if you're like, I like these horror elements that, some parts are kind of scary and gruesome and stuff, but like with just this hilarious shit happening in it too. Like it's just dark humor. Oh man, there's not a ton of movies like this.
I would say that if you are uncomfortable with pretty substantial gore, that you should probably stay home for this one. But
Yes.
like if you're okay with like Final Destination or Evil Dead or any of that kind of stuff, then this is just just a slasher flick,
Dude.
except the slasher is a cocaine bear.
Yeah. Honestly, like I know we've talked a lot of good things about this movie, but I do want to state something. Like I have been very severely disappointed and upset with cinema lately. It just seems like they're taking a lot of like my favorite things and not really putting like the effort into it or like paying attention to the source material. Like I'll say it, like Obi-Wan, Ant-Man and the Wasp, the Quantumanium is just examples that where it's like this, but it's like with
kind of
this,
disappointing.
it's very disappointing, and it's like over the top, right? Like the budget is huge, right? Those movies cost hundreds of millions of dollars to make, and then you get this movie called Cocaine Bear, and it's some of the most fun I've had in cinema in so long.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't. It knew what it was, and it wasn't trying to be over the top or anything, or like have a message or like anything. It's like it's called Cocaine Bear, and you got that, and that's one of the things I'm like, you need to watch this.
Yeah, this is the thing that I think about a lot recently, because I recently saw Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Oh yeah,
I
Charlie
love that
Kaufman, which is great. Also filmed for like I think under
It was only
$20 million or
I think
something.
Yeah, it
the
was a few
entire
million.
budget was like Jim Carrey's salary. I think.
Yeah, exactly. And I was just like watching both of these movies obviously there's a little dissonance between them. But at the same time,
Were you
I was like,
comparing
obviously-
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind to Cocaine Bear?
Let's just say one got nominated for a Golden Globe, one didn't. I'll let you guess which one it is.
But the thing about it is that like both of them have such a specific point of view from the director, right? Like
Yeah.
Charlie Kaufman was the writer, but obviously was in the directorial room as well, in the editing room, and you can really tell that's a Charlie Kaufman movie. I think that if Elizabeth Banks really starts like going, like if you look at Charlie's Angels, you look at her like Pitch Perfect and her past work, like she has a flair for doing really campy, weird shit.
Yes.
on like niche topics, and I'm just looking forward to more stuff from her. I think it'd be cool.
I'm honestly right there with you. This isn't her directorial debut, but they're kind of treating it in Hollywood like it is because it is like her movie, right? Like she's the one that made this happen. It wasn't like, hey, it's Pitch Perfect 2, why don't you direct it? It's like, no, this is her own IP, intellectual property, right? And I absolutely cannot wait. And I hope to God that she makes more movies like this. Doesn't need to be, I don't need a Cocaine Bear 2. We can end it, where it was. But I would love to see
Cocaine
some
Wolf?
more. Cocaine Wolf, Cocaine Sheep, Cocaine Dragons,
Cocaine
right?
Eagles!
I mean, honestly, I hate to do this to you, Owen. I think that they set it up as a potential sequel with the bear and the two cubs still being
All three of
coked
them?
out.
It did end on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
So I think that like they left the door open in case she needs some fast cash, but
I'm okay with the sequel. I'll say that, but I would much rather see Elizabeth Banks do some other stuff and maybe kind of keep it in the little bit more. This is going to be a cult classic movie for sure.
Oh yeah. And it's true. Like what you guys are saying is you can see the vision in it. There is a creative vision to this. And we've talked about this before in the show of how like, some movies are kind of designed by committee, or, you can see where there's interference or where there's like these different tones that don't match in the movie. They didn't know how to fit this in with that. Whereas with this, you can tell like this is her unique vision. And it's funny, like a movie as ridiculous as Cocaine Bear, it really does exemplify what you want to see from movies.
100%.
It's like, I want to see someone who has an idea in their head and they bring that idea from inside their mind and they put it on film. And then we watch it and and we appreciate it and we're going along with it. And it's funny because like, it's just, if there were like tons of movies like this out, like Cocaine Bear, then I wouldn't like that. I'd be like, okay, I'm sick of this. We don't need like a whole cocaine cinematic universe. Like I made the joke earlier.
CBU?
Yeah, we don't need all that. Like it doesn't need to be the next superhero genre where they're like, but I mean, like we talked about Violent Night also at Christmas time, where that was a serious action movie with hilarious stuff in it.
Yes.
This is a serious horror movie with hilarious stuff in it. Like that, like we do need some movies like this where it's like, dude, it's just fun, man. Yeah. Like just go and have a good time.
It was so
Especially
much fun.
With cinema in the spot where it is right now, where if you can have a really small, intimate drama, or like the Banshees of Inisherin.
Yeah.
Like something like that. You can have that stuff on your TV at home, and it's kind of the same experience. Like you're not going to get anything. You're not going to lose a whole lot of that experience, because what it is trying to do is show you like a very dramatic plot with these really great actors having a very intimate movie. When you have stuff like Cocaine Bear and stuff like that, it is these huge spectacles that are fun, like you said, Brando. It's just fun to be there. It's a genre piece, which I always think is just like a good time. And I think that is where movies in general start to have to go. And also, like you said, Owen, like the Disney, I think, is the worst at this, but it's all of the big houses. They flatten everything out, even down to like the cinematic scores of their franchises. If you like listen to even the first Avengers movies like score, it is emotionless, like just background noise. But then like, so a lot of the artistry is taken out so that's not like, it doesn't offend the sensibilities of whatever their target demographic is going to be. So if they're like doing kids movies, it's like a very specific vibe they're going for.
It pleases the most amount of people.
Exactly.
Possible.
Yeah. It's just like widely appealing. And I think that A24 does this really well. They don't go for widely appealing. They go for their niche audience, and then they get every single one of them to sit at the theater and watch the movie.
Yeah. And for those who don't know, A24 does horror films.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they do horror films that like you're either going to like or they're going to gross you out or mess you up. This is that kind of movie too, where like this is the kind of movie that it's not mass appealing. Like the people who like this movie are going to really have fun with it, and there's going to be a lot of people who really hate this movie. But that's fine because this movie doesn't need to make $1 billion.
No.
It doesn't need to please everyone. It just needs to please the people who enjoy
I had
it.
such a fun time. So when I came home after the movie, Master and Debaters, so Puck, Alex, and Spencer were here recording an episode. Once they finished, they were like, "How is it?" And I was like, "It's awesome. I absolutely loved this movie." They legitimately bought tickets to go see it later tonight with their girlfriend. So they're like right now as we're recording this, are like watching Cocaine
Oh,
Bear.
that's awesome.
I was like, and that's what I love. And that's what I was trying to say. It's like, there's all these big budget movies that have so much money and writers and everything behind it. And they're just not good anymore, in my opinion. And then you get this little fucking indie movie that legitimately was absolutely
fun.
blast.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to ask you guys. Go for it.
You know what it is? It's punk. It's literally like it's like the big corporations, and then you have a fucking Cocaine Bear being like the punk rock of the 2023 movie universe.
That's the episode title: Punk Rock Cocaine Bear.
So on a scale of 1 cocaine line to 5 cocaine lines, how many cocaine lines would you give this movie?
I don't know how to measure this at all, man. Oh my gosh, how do you even?
Yeah.
I always try to do it objectively, like the objective quality of a film is always how I approach it. But you can't do that with this
not
movie.
with this one. No.
I would say I would give it a four lines out of 5 because it was a fun time.
Yes, Nick.
I think I agree. I think it's a 4 out of 5. I think that it did not rise to where I was like, I'm going to be talking about this for 5 years kind of thing, where like it didn't go to, I don't even know how it would. It didn't quite rise to a 5 for me, but it was solid. It was fun.
Yeah.
I went with 2 friends and we had a great time. It's a good time. So go see it.
I'm right there with you. I'm a 4 out of 5 lines. I think they did do a little shotgun blasting where it's like, hey, we have horror, we have comedy, we have adventure, we have love, we have family, and all this stuff, and everything was good, but nothing really seemed to be excellent, and that's why it's a 4 out of 5. Its fun factor was there.
You know, you bring up a good point. Is this movie and Violent Night and like Tucker and Dale, like, and I haven't seen Tucker and Dale, but like movies like that, it does like they're good. But it almost seems like there's a movie like this that's a masterpiece waiting to come out.
Yes.
I totally agree. I was like, oh, they got so close. You know what I mean? Like, I think they just tried to do a little too much, to Owen's point. They tried to do a little bit too much. And if they had focused on any single part of it a little bit more, I think maybe it would have gotten there. Like if they had focused on the camp a little bit more, then maybe it would have been like, you know, a masterpiece in it. Then that, right? If they focused on the horror, maybe it would have just been like more of a legitimate horror movie that is great. Or if they focused on, I don't know, the family story, I guess.
The coming of age, the children. Like,
the coming of age story.
The Goonies story in it. Kids hiking
Goonies
and
never
going to
say
the-
die.
Goonies never do cocaine.
Eats chunk.
Hey, you guys want to do some cocaine?
That's why Chunk looks like that, actually.
It's from cocaine. All right.
It's trivia time.
It's parts like this where I wish we actually videoed it because Nick was dancing and he was doing the weird Dave Chappelle guy dance with his arms doing twerking. It was great.
It's called The Robot.
I don't know if I'd call that the robot.
The weird Dave Chappelle twerking guy.
Yeah, you know, he was in all the Prince and
I know, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Well, Brando, it's a great day here at the Helios Network. Because you lost last week, I got 100% on
did.
Jakey G trivia done by Lexi, and you only got 5. You're so disappointing.
I don't know anything about Jake Gyllenhaal, apparently.
So,
I gotta spin the wheel.
You got to spin the wheel. Go ahead and give us
All right.
a little spinny wheelie wheel.
Tell me what color it lands on. I can't see it.
Red.
Red. Oh, shit. I'm sorry. I gotta flip to the page where I have the colors in my notes. What does red mean? I forgot.
Red is dead.
Red is dead.
Yeah.
Red. No, I remember what red
Black
means.
is fight back. Brown is lay down.
Man, you know what? That was actually one of my trivia questions.
Oh, really? Okay.
All right, red is actually a shot of hot sauce.
Is it? Oh, that makes sense.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'll be right back with a shot of hot sauce. We just got some sticker mules stuffed in too.
Oh, good. That's great.
Brando, is he trying to destroy your insides?
Yeah, we need to fix the wheel of shit or whatever it is. We need to put some new
the
stuff
wheel
on
of
it.
shit.
Yeah. Because
Every time I spin this thing, something bad happens to me.
well, it's a punishment for who loses trivia. So
Yeah.
like we have stuff on it, or like we've changed it up so many times, but now I'm just like, I think I'm ready to retire this stupid ass gimmick. We might not bring it back for season 3. So who
Yeah.
knows? We'll edit this out, by the way.
This could be the like after the credits special.
No one gives a shit about this. Oh, thank you for getting a little one.
You're welcome.
Oh, I'm salivating. Just
I'm
Oh,
already
man.
sweating.
I'm
Yeah.
salivating.
So if you don't know, we get our stickers made by Mule Sticker, and if you spend $50 or more, you get a free thing of their hot sauce.
Yes.
So that's what you're about to shoot, Brando. Look at that go down.
This is so cool, guys.
This is so fun and friendly fun time.
I got the hiccups now.
All right, go ahead and give us the first question you got for us, Nick.
All right, here we go. This one is going to be a little bit tough, I'm going to say.
All right.
But I will say this, that the original director was not Elizabeth Banks, but Tyler Gillett was approached to direct, but opted out of the film to make a different horror movie. What horror movie did he opt out to do?
Ooh,
I think I actually know this one.
Tyler Gillett.
Yeah.
I have a guess.
All right. I'm going to say it's the new film Evil Dead Rises.
I was gonna say Smile.
You both fucked up.
Ah!
It's Scream 6.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's coming out in April or
Okay.
Yeah.
something like that. I want to say.
I'm looking forward to that one.
You got the hiccups now.
I really have the hiccups.
All right. Question number 2.
All right, here we go. Sorry, I'm just finding this. Okay, this film has been said in The Atlantic that its popularity is due to a specific type of narrative that is popular these days. And I'll say that for you guys, what is that narrative structure? Think about thematic horror tropes. Think about what the cocaine bear really means.
I mean, I have a word, but I don't know if it's right. So, Brando, do you have an idea?
I wasn't thinking of a horror trope. I had a guess for a movie trope, not specifically a horror.
You might be right. Hit it with me.
All right.
Is it like the origin story?
I was going to say campy.
No, this is man versus nature. Classic narrative structure. I'm so sorry. These are very good. I only found very little about cocaine bear trivia.
It's only been out for like 3 days, so it's fine.
All right,
You know
here
what's
we go.
funny? Like the actual shots of nature in this movie are actually beautiful.
It's beautifully
like this
shot.
movie is actually beautiful.
All right, what's the next one?
All right. So, Mark Mothersburg replaced the original composer for Cocaine Bear in November 2022.
Okay.
And this is a person that Banks has worked with before. What is Mark's claim to fame as a movie composer?
Oh, I think I know this one.
It's a movie.
Yeah.
His
Put your phone away.
his-
Stop cheating.
I'm not looking up stuff.
Then stop looking at
I'm
porn.
looking at the outro script. What was the
I have
his most famous composition with Elizabeth Banks?
Yeah.
Oh,
3.
Was it? I bet it's a movie she starred in.
2, 1. Go, Brando.
I don't know.
Come on.
I
Come
don't
on.
know.
Is it? I think it's Pitch Perfect.
I'll
I'm
give
gonna
it to you.
go-
Oh,
2. It's Pitch
Yeah,
Perfect.
go with
Perfect
it. I
too,
don't
yeah.
have one. Yeah, I don't. I don't have one at all.
Yeah.
All right.
I would have not have known that if we didn't talk about her other directorial debuts,
There you
movie
go.
things. Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
All right, so I'm going to read you a quote from The Observer. It's a film critic blog kind of thing, who gave the film a 3 out of 5 and said, this may not be blank meets Scarface, but it leaves snakes on a plane standing on the runway. What was his combo that he was pairing with Scarface to make this movie example?
I think I know what it is.
Blank
I have a guess, but I think my guess is right.
Blank versus Scarface.
It says
Blank
it may not be
Scarface.
blank meets Scarface. So something that they were combining with Scarface.
Okay,
to make
okay.
the-
I think I know this one too.
I have a guess.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Jaws.
Smokey the Bear.
You know, Brando, I think I might give it to you because it may not be Grizzly Man meets Scarface.
All right. All right. 1-1.
And this is my final one. And this one,
All right.
you might actually know. Sorry. Again, these are very obscure trivia facts. The actual cocaine bear in Lexington, Kentucky, the taxidermied cocaine bear, real life, is wearing like a Smokey the Bear hat, like a park ranger hat. And it has a letter on it. What is it?
I mean,
It's got to be the letter C.
it has to be the letter C.
It's the letter K for Kentucky. I'm sorry. Both of you should do hot sauce. You guys did not get any of them except for one. I guess the pitch perfect.
All right, watch out because
your score there.
Yeah.
Owen, I'm sorry.
watch out because here's lightning round. I got some trivia.
Oh
here.
gosh. Okay.
Bear safety trivia, y'all.
All right.
All right, Nick and Owen. What do you do when a black bear attacks you, and what do you do when a brown bear attacks you?
Okay, I know.
What is the proper response?
Well, I said it already.
yeah. Well, what is it?
It was black fight back, brown lay down.
Yeah. And what do you do when a polar bear attacks you?
Oh.
You fucking pray.
You die. Black fight back, brown lay down, white good night.
White.
Why should you never run from a bear?
Because they're fucking fast.
Yes. Point goes to Nick. They are fucking fast.
and it puts them into predator mode.
Yeah, and they are huge, but they are super fast.
Literally,
All right,
once I was driving, I went to college in Canada, so I was driving from Maine to Canada, and I was just like in the middle of nowhere, New Brunswick, and there was like this cliff on the side of the road, and I saw a huge bear run down the road, jump over a car that was going across the highway, and then run straight up the mountain cliff on the other
Yes.
side. I was like,
They
what
are
the fuck?
Never run from a bear. They will always win. All right, I got another one. Here we go. Can bears really climb trees?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
And they're very fast climbing.
Yeah. So, I mean, Dwight Schrute says it. They can climb faster than they can run.
All right, here we go. Why?
Wait, Dwight Schrute, what does he say? He's like, I went to go see this movie, and I thought it was when bears attacks, and I stayed and watched the whole movie because that's the thing. You never know when bears attack.
All right, why do guns not work against bears? Like regular pistols that you might have, like for like a pistol. Hunting rifles work, but like a regular pistol or even a shotgun. Why does that not work against bears?
Is it because they have a bunch of fat around them, so it just like dulls the impact of the bullet?
There's not enough penetration power when it comes to shotguns or smaller pistol rounds.
I'll give that one to Owen. The answer is that their skulls and their bones are like so dense that if you were to shoot a bear in the head with like a regular pistol, it would actually ricochet off their skull.
Damn.
Whoa.
So it's not because of the blubber.
That's what they made Captain America's shield out of.
It was bear skulls.
Vibranium, yeah. Bear skull. All right, last question of my bear safety trivia section, lightning round. What is the best item to use to defend against a bear?
My dick.
Ooh.
Bear spray, right?
It is bear spray.
It is bear spray. That's
Because
right,
it's
yeah.
named after it.
There's actually
bear in the name. It better be fucking good.
there is a pepper spray designed just for bears.
When I went to
and that's what you
Montana,
should
I had to
use.
carry bear spray with me, and then, they did a course on how to do it, and that stuff is potent. It is potent.
So this has been an amazing time. A fun
This
time.
has been pretty good.
Nick, why don't you tell us about Tabletop? Tell us about where we can find you, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, cool. Okay. My name's Nick. I host a podcast called Tabletopped. It is a TTRPG podcast where we bring on developers, have interviews with folks who are way smarter than us, and talk about different aspects of storytelling and interactive fiction. We also have a group
Brando
of
and I.
DMs.
We also Brando and I.
And of course, we've also had Owen and Brando on guesting.
To dick around.
Yeah. It's like, all these people way smarter than us, and Brando and Owen.
It's like, hi, I designed the concept of games, and I'm your guest in the next show. It's like, hey, I'm Brando, and I'm Owen.
We know things. When I first reached out, or you first reached out, it was like, I know you've had like 2 doctors on the podcast, but can we like talk about this? And I was like, yeah, of course.
Is that cool?
Yeah, so we do all that kind of stuff. We also have a panel of DMs that talk about their experience between us. We have like 100 years of game experience, I guess. And it's a good time. It's really fun. We actually have an episode on how bears are one of the best creatures you should use in your game. So maybe I'll send it to you guys to link to it.
Please do. I legitimately, this entire time, I was like, maybe next session they'll make my players fight a bear.
Bears
But
are
also-
the only monster in the monster manual that have 4 separate stat blocks.
Oh, God, yeah.
Gosh.
But also, Nick, you want to give us some other fun, delightful news?
Ooh.
Yeah, guys, you know, the Helios Network is just so cool that I think Tabletop is going to be part of the Helios Network.
Yeah, so we fell in love with Nick so much that we tickled his fancy. We gave him a couple lines of blow, and he is joining the fucking Helios Network.
Because we don't have podcasts. We got family.
Dude, we're
And it is
so
in my
excited.
contract to come back for Fast X someday.
Yeah, when you signed up. Yeah. No, we like genuinely, we got along with you so well. Your show is so great. We just hit it off and we had conversations like, dude, let's do this together. There's mutual, like, you know, we're all kind of like small time podcasting, but let's do it together and like lift each other up. And so we're super excited to have you on, man.
Yeah.
This is going to be cool.
Everyone
stoked.
at the tabletop side of the table is just so excited. You guys, all the shows are so cool, and we're just excited to be one of them now.
Hell yeah, man. Well, we're like Brando said, very, very excited and very happy to finally have you here. I mean,
Yes.
like ever since our episode, you and I almost text like a couple times a week now.
Yeah.
So I was like, I was like, okay. Then you're like, hey, what about this? I'm like, yeah, of course it's gonna fucking happen.
Yes. If any of our listeners have not checked out Tabletop, oh man, you got to hear it. It is so fun, especially if you're a fan of tabletop RPGs, of D&D, that kind of thing. Check out Tabletop. It is so great.
Yes, and we are also proud members of the Helios. Oh, that's your line.
That's
Brando.
my line.
Yeah. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter. I officially am a Twitter person now too.
Yeah.
The links will be in the show description.
And we are all now proud members of the Helios Network, a collection of great podcasts made by regular people.
Check us out at theheliosnetwork.com to get some merch and see other amazing podcasts like Tabletop!
Yeah,
Also, this is a kind of a cool thing because we're taping this on Monday, but Tuesday is Tabletop's first anniversary ever. So, and when this comes out on Wednesday, we're re-releasing our first episode. So if you're done listening to this episode, you can pop over to Tabletop and get started.
You know what? You're really brave to actually re-release your
man.
first episode.
dear
I would
God, I'm
never do
terrified.
that.
I'm literally like, oh shit.
Banter. I don't want anyone to listen to Banter and Such's first episode. I listened to it the other day.
Oh, it's so
and I was
bad.
like, oh my gosh.
We like, there's no excitement in our voice.
It's terrible.
There's no funniness. It's like, yeah, so I was watching this movie the other day.
Yeah. Hey, welcome to Banter and Such.
I was thinking that it was a good movie, so we should probably talk about it.
Yeah, hey, I'm Brando.
Yeah.
It was terrible. And for all of our Patreon subscribers, stay with us after the outro music because we have the extended bonus banter coming up exclusively for you, baby.
Yes, and if you want to subscribe to our Patreon, the link is in the show description as well.
All right. Well, I love you all, and thanks so much for listening to this week's episode of Banter and Such.
Next week, we are continuing with some stupid animal nature man movies, and we're having Alex Alberico from Master Debaters to come on to talk about, I can't believe I'm saying this, Velocipaster.
All right. Well, I'm Brando.
And I'm Owen.
And until next time, may your week be filled with BS.
So we really just did an episode about Cocaine Bear.
We did Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine Bear.
Was this your idea,
This
Nick?
was Nick.
Was this you texting Owen?
No, this was like literally. I think last time we were there, I was like, yeah, like fucking.
I
The
think
David
on
Harbour Santa movie. I forget what it is. What is it?
Oh, Violent
Violent
Night.
Night.
Yeah,
Violent Night. I was like, Violent Night's coming up, and then also like, have you guys heard about Cocaine Bear?
Oh my god.
I was in Miami for a day last week. I was like flying from Nashville with my boss. And he's like, yeah, so like, what's new? How's podcasting going? And I was talking to him. I was like, yeah, we're going to do this movie next week called Cocaine Bear. He's like, what did you just fucking say to me? I was like,
You're
Cocaine
fired.
Bear. We're literally in the TSA line at the Nashville airport. And he pulls up his phone and watches the trailer, doesn't have headphones in. So everybody's listening to this. And he goes, this movie looks fucking amazing.